Alright, so I came out to this pretty cool location with all the graffiti and such to tell you about my bike. Haven't told you much about it yet, so if you've been watching my videos you might wonder what I'm riding. And here she is. This is a 2003 Suzuki SV1000S. You might say to yourself, that doesn't look like an S. An S has fairings, and you're right, an S does have fairings. However, this one was completely trashed before I got it, and the fairings were not salvageable. So here you have it, a naked modified SV1000S. And I'll walk you through some of the stuff that I've done to it. I had to replace front fender. There was no front fender whenever I got it. Apparently was damaged, removed at some point. The front forks had to be rebuilt. They were leaking, so I disassembled those, put good AMSOIL fluid in there, replaced the seals with All Balls Racing seals, replaced the brakes front and rear, replaced the steering damper, put new fluid in that as well, converted to a single headlight. We've got some little LED blinkers from eBay on here. Nice crack in the headlight there. I've got a new one waiting to put on it, just haven't got around to it yet. Set up the front suspension after I rebuilt it, obviously. We've got a new radiator here, another eBay part, actually pretty good eBay part. It fit great. Everything's fine with it, cools well. New front controls here. The front controls, the reservoirs on both sides were broken, so all that had to be replaced. These are eBay parts. Had to make this mount for the cluster because the cluster on the S mounts to the fairing stay right about in this area. I actually don't have a fairing stay anymore, so I had to make a solution for that. Had to replace all of the keyed items because I didn't have a key for the bike, so the ignition, the gas tank, the rear seat, all that had to be, all the locks had to be replaced on that. You might be able to see it here. The whole bike was spray painted in this multicolored sparkly black. I had to take care of that as well. I couldn't get it all off of the engine. I didn't feel like pulling the engine, trying to clean everything independently. But the frame and everything was painted. You can see it's still painted here. I cleaned off the frame, took it back to the metal, and did sort of a brushed look on it. We got new rear sets here. Those are actually pretty good parts. I'm real happy with those rear sets. New exhaust. I just put this Danmoto exhaust on it. I'm happy with that as well. The stock exhaust was damaged when it was dropped, so that needed to be taken care of. We got new horns here. I actually went to dual horns, got those off eBay as well. But you know, they make noise, they let people know I'm there, and that's the point. The bike from the factory was orange, and then it was spray painted blue, and then it was spray painted black, and then I stripped all that off and took it back to this blue color, which is actually a Chevrolet blue from the 90s, I believe. It was something I could do pretty inexpensive and take care of it, and I'm happy with how it turned out. The upholstery had been replaced once with sort of a fake leather, and it was a poor job done. It was all coming off by the time I got it. Plus the bike had sat for 2 years out in the elements, so the seats were really badly damaged. I recovered those kind of at the house. I'm not a professional, so they aren't the best, but they work for me. The tail light, I replaced the tail light and went with an integrated tail light here. This rear fender delete was already installed. And whenever they did that, they put these little sort of stick-on blinkers back here. However, when they painted the bike, they just spray painted over the top of them. So they were also wired very poorly, and the wiring was all damaged, partially because of the bad wiring job, partially because when it was sitting, some type of a rodent had gotten in the back, eaten several of the wires, and caused some damage back there, so I had to repair all of that. I also replaced the chain and kind of did all the basic maintenance. I did chain, I did sprockets, standard size. I didn't change the teeth on those. Replaced the clutch slave cylinder, bled all that out. I added this switch here, which is actually to disable the timing retard that's on these things factory. So first through third, the bike actually pulls timing. In the down position, it's factory. In the up position, it actually has full timing first through third, so I can get all the power. Another thing that happened whenever this thing was crashed, when the radiator was damaged, the radiator was pushed back into the fan, and the fan was seized and it burnt the motor up, so I had to replace the fan, and I couldn't find a decent fan for a SV1000. Maybe you can see the lettering on the side. That's actually a fan from a CBR 600, and I had to retrofit it and make it work. We had some bar end mirrors here. I put those on because the stock mirrors mounted to the fairings. I only had one of them left, and I wasn't putting fairings back on it, so I had to take care of that somehow. So bar end mirrors were a good fit for it. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of walkthrough and tells you a little bit more about what I do, what I ride, about me. If you have any questions or want to talk about it, leave a message in the comments below and I'll cover it in a future video. Later.